Friends, as today we are talking about the topic porters, five forces of a competition. Basically, every organization, every corporation, they want to achieve a competitive advantage. That competitive advantage, whenever they found, whenever they achieve a competitive advantage by which their products and their services differentiate from another corporation, and they overcome the competitors activities. So the port so the that competitive advantage, that give advantage for the sales and service revenues are generated from that competitive advantage, because the Sogo savers, earlier Sogo savers, whenever we are saying the competitive of Sogo savers, the savers provide the lights, quality lights, and the major important feature of a Sogo saver is their quality and the cost. Quality and cost, both are very effective. The quality lights from the Sogo savers, and as well as their the nominal cost, the 200 rupees, 150 rupees, 300 rupees. So this is the achievement from the Sogo company. Their design and their quality and the cost that affect their sales to go and to achieve the targets. There is a target market for those products and services that has a competitive advantage, as the AC and the broadband. Those have their competitive advantages. AC, rather than the previous area, the general ACs was there, and their window ACs were there. Window AC had a high cooling, but there was one drawback, that it it creates more units. It has a one drawback, that they calculate the more electric units, more cost, rather than the in today's arena the ACs splits. They have a one competitive advantage, because they expand less units rather than the general and the window ACs. So they have a competitive advantage. Everybody, they provide the cool the rooms very immediately, on the immediate basis. And another competitive advantage, which is internet, the availability of the internet and its speed, that is an advantage. So these they are the competitive advantage, and they generate the more sales and the more sales and more revenues from their products and services. Now the porters five forces of now we are talking about the porters five forces of a competition, that whenever they have a competitive advantage, and they want the sales over the time, So for the sustainability of their competitive advantage, every corporation, every organization wants to sustain their competitive advantage to go for revenues over the time. So the Porter's five forces of account. Porter has given the theory about the Porter's five forces of a competition, about the competitive advantage, that whenever any of the corporation, they have the threat from the five main areas, and if they want to succeed, and if they want to sustain their competitive advantage, they must they must focus on these five things. They must compete with the competitors on these five areas so that they can sustain their competitive advantage. Number first is from them. Number first area is the entrance of new. There is an entrance of the new business into the market. If there is if there is a business or the organization that is a new, and they come into the business, into the market, and that is a similar products and the services from them, from and they can be the competitors for that corporation, which is a competitive advantage. So if they want to sustain their competitive advantage, they have to focus, they have to create the barriers of entry for those businesses, whichever for the new businesses, so that they should control these the new businesses to enter into the market. Number first, you have to control the new business to enter. You have to create the barriers to entry. You have to create the you have to for them, you have to increase your cost of the you have to increase the ease of doing business. Because of ease of doing business, the new companies, the new organizations come into the Pakistan very easily, and they affect the sales of the sales of the they can compete the sustainable competitive advantage. Number first, 5 मिनट में गया है, 20 मिनट में गया है. So this is the number one, that is to control the new business into the market. For them, some people, they go for the increase their quality. They control their cost. They decrease their cost so that they can facilitate their competitive advantage, and they makes the barriers to entry for the new businesses. So number second is the threat of the rivalry. Rivalry is the number second is the threat of the rivalry. Those organizations which are similar in the business, and those organizations which are the competitors already available in the market, they have the corporations that have a competitive advantage for their own products and services. So they have the threat from the they have a threat from their competitors, which we call the threat from the rivalry. For them, to compete for those activities, they they make the different strategies, including go for the market penetration, go for the market development, for the product differentiation, product development, and diversify their portfolio diversification. But along with, they go for the three other things. Three other competitive strategies. Number one is the forward integration. Number second is the horizontal integration. Third is the backward integration. So they want to purchase the suppliers, products and the services. Number one, that is we call the forward integration. Either they purchase the purchase their subsidiaries, their 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 branches. Number two, number third is either they are purchasing the similar organizations, same line of a business. Either they purchase the same line of a business, so they make so they make the competitive strategies to control the rivalry, to overcome their businesses. From they have they maintain their quality, they maintain their cost, they maintain their varieties, they maintain their designs, packing processes, and the media role of the media is there, role of the other corporations, mergers, acquisitions. They do these kinds of they include they go for the marketing their products and the services, and they make alliances, they make alliances from with the other businesses. And they also go to for the display their products and display their products and services, display schemes there, and along with other important activities with them. So this is the number second, the threat from the rivalry. Number third is bargaining power of the suppliers. Bargaining power of suppliers, it means that when we are saying about the competitive advantage, there's, for example, there is a Sogo company for the savers, for the electric savers. Now they have their maturity, their products are mature now. They have full growth of their products. They have the quality, they have a nominal cost, they have a market share. Now the third thing is that they can be affected, their sale can be affected from the suppliers. Their sale can be affected from the supplier. They have the bargaining power of the suppliers. To to overcome the bargaining power of suppliers, whenever the organization or the corporation, they have enough or the sufficient market share with them. So they have the sale, they have the sale and the service revenue. So they go to purchase the suppliers brands, suppliers material, so that they can control the bargaining power of the suppliers. So whenever they purchase the suppliers products and material, so they can when we are saying them that they have the forward integration. So they have the purchase the suppliers material, or the suppliers headquarter, suppliers especially. So this is the number third, the bargaining power of the suppliers. They can affect their cost, they can affect their products and the services quality, they can affect their prices, they can affect their market share, they can affect their goodwill, they can affect their quality, they can affect their businesses. So therefore this is the number 10. Number fourth is the bargaining power of the customers. So the bargaining power of a customer can change their purchasing, because their incomes, because their other things are there. And the number fourth is the bargaining power of their employees. The direct labor is very important for them, for their production. So the number fourth is the bargaining power of the employees, the direct labor. Number fifth is the bargaining power of the bargaining power of the number fifth is the substitution effect. Substitution effect, the substitutes can be produced, substitutes of their products can be produced because already earlier there was the Philips was very effective. Their sales were at the high, but whenever the substitute from the Sogo was initiated, so the sale was shifted towards the Sogo more and more. And whenever now the Philips is also creating those kinds of savers, electric savers. So this is not just a saver. Now, and after that from the whenever we are saying about the so the surf, we can say the Ariel Express. There earlier there was the soaps, and there was a time taken from the for the washing the clothes. Now you have the Ariel Excel. They can be they are very effective, and they have shifted their market share from the electric machines to come to the from the washing machines to these substitutes, the Excel, the Express, the products and services. So this is the Porter's five forces of competition. So the Porter says if you want to sustain your competitive advantage, you have to compete these. You have to make the competitive strategies over the long time in order to sustain your business, business. And today we are talking about the history of the currency. History of the currency, basically the money or the currency is a legal tender which is easily accepted means of a payment by which we do the payment process. So the history of a currency, including the barter system, drawbacks of barter system, gold system, and the drawbacks of the gold system, metallic money, and the drawbacks of a metallic money, and the currency system evolution of a currency system through the Bretton Woods Conference, features of good currency system, and the banking system, financial instruments, and the digitalization of the money. Now the history of the currency, including the barter system. Earlier, there was the means currency is an easily used as a means of the payment. But then whenever there was a barter system in the earlier ages, there was the barter system where the goods were sold against the goods. The products were sold against the products. So this was the whenever anybody who sell the cement, or he sell the he sell the electric lights. So they when they purchase anything, they did not provide them with the money, but they provide them with the products, and the exchange of the products against the products. So this was the barter system, and barter system was the initial stage of the currency system, where the initial stage of the trade system, where the manufacturing and the trading and the services were based upon the barter system. As the time passes, the businessmen, they felt that there are some drawbacks of the barter system. So whenever they felt that there are some drawbacks of the barter system, so so the some of the drawbacks I am mentioning here. I am mentioning here that the number one number first drawback was there was the storage value. Here, if there is a currency, we can store it very easily. But whenever there was a barter system, the prices and selling of the exchange of goods against the goods, so the products cannot be stored so easily with every person. So there was a problem of storage. Number first. So this was the drawback. Number second drawback was the unit of the account. Unit of account, that means there was the difficulty in cutting in the currency, in the unit of account of the currency, just like we have the currency system of the 20 rupees, 50 rupees. Now there is a we are using the figures that 235 rupees has done. We are calculating the prices that the 235 rupees has done. So it was very difficult with the barter system, that the products were not calculated on this background, on this efficient way. So this was the second drawback of the barter system, the lack of the unit of the account. Number first was the storage. Number second was the lack of the unit of the currencies, unit of account. Number third is the problem of a transportability. The problem of transportability was also there. And whenever the nowadays, if there is a currency of the if there is a banking currency, or if there is a banking people using the banking channel for the payments, or the currency system for the payments, so it is much easier than the in the barter system, where there was each transaction was very difficult to go with the transportability. So this was the number third drawback was this. So as the barter system was evolved, there was so many drawbacks of the barter system. So that there was the evolution of the gold system was the next, and the gold system was evolved, and whenever the gold system was evolved, and the people was buying on the basis of the gold. Even anybody who was taking the product, who was receiving the 10 gram of a gold, 20 gram of a gold. So this was the gold system. As the time passes, there was also the problem with the gold system, because there was a problem of the theft, stolen the gold system very easily. And there was also other drawbacks. So the development of the money came into the being, and the gold system has some drawbacks, just like the unit of account, just like the standard currency is a standard, and the easily accepted means of a payment. So the gold system was not the easily accepted means of a payment, because some countries were deficient. Some countries were deficient in the gold into the production of the gold. So they came into there was a drawbacks of the gold system. So the metallic money was evolved after the gold system. The third phase was the metallic money. So the metallic money, when the metallic money was created, and there was the coins, there was the silver, and there was the metals were iron, and the other metals was zinc, and other metals were used into the payment processes. But there were also the time, as the time passes, this was the creation of. So the metallic, when the metallic money was as a standard for the means of a payment. So as the time passes, the problems were initiated. problems were initiated with the metallic money. There was some drawbacks like the transportability was a very important transportability of metals. With every exchange there was a transportability problem. The number second issue was the carrier of the carriage of the metallic money into the pockets into the so this was another. So they were heavy in their weight, and the weight was heavy, and the unit of account was, however, unit of account were there it was not also the easily accepted means of a payment. So these drawbacks were was so the drawbacks were there for the metallic money as well, for as a transportability, portability, and the carriage problems were there from one from the and the development was there. And the development is the 1944 when the Pakistan when the establishment of Pakistan was into the prediction, and the final result was the Pakistan. So there was a Bretton Woods conference was held with the IMF, when the IMF says that there should be the currency system should be for evolution of the currency system through the Bretton Woods conference. One In the 1944, the Bretton Woods conference was held, in which there was a suggestion that the dollar system will be the standard system for the currency. And in the dollar system there will be the SDR, special drawing receipts will be there for every country. And every country, if they are going to publish their issue their currencies, so they have to submit the $60 one SDR gold against the one SDR, the $60 equal to the $60. If anybody who wants to get the currency, issue the currency, so he has to submit the one SDR, the amount of the value of the one SDR, the $60 against the gold system. So this was the system was evolved into the currency system. And everybody who has some results that the dollar system is not there is a dollar system, so the America can be the leader into the currency system. So these rumors were there. So they finally compromised on the SDR system. The special drawing receipts will be there for the payment of the against the dollar system. So they came into there was the currency system. So there are some good features of currency system, that the currency, now there is a currency that is a very easily storable, that can be stored very easily, number first. Number second, it is a very easy accepted means of the payment. Number third is for the currency system, it has a unit of the accounts. Number three. Number four, it is easily portable from one place to another place. Four. Number fifth, it has an ease into the transportability. Five. Number six, there is a one standard in the everywhere where there is a exchange of goods and services. So this has some good features. And the most important feature is here there is a paper currency there. And the paper currency, the paper is the quality of the paper is the quality of a paper is there. And along with other qualities are also there into the paper currency. So this was the very important and the very essential form of the currency system. And after the, whenever there was a features of when there was a currency system was evolved, as the time passes, there was a nowadays there is a banking system was evolved into the currency system. So the everybody who is taking their deposits, who is getting their, who is doing their payments through the banking sector, whenever they into the banking system, whenever they went against the banking system, whenever they felt that the banking system is a very important, and everybody who is doing deposits, and they have a bank statements, and there is a chance of the some people, there are the corrupt system there. But they here, now from the Pakistan, there is a very well involved system of the eradication of a corruption there. So this is the, so banking channel, whenever we say about the banking channel, the banking channel, the special form of the currency system, and there is a deposits, there are the payments. So after the banking system, they went, every e-business is almost on the banking sector, on the banking system, and almost all the transactions which are done through the banking system. So the after the banking system, there was also the another form of paper money, that was evolved, that was the financial instruments. Financial instruments where the Financial instruments are the legal tenders through which people can borrow, or the people can exchange the money. People can exchange the money. Whereas there are the various forms of the money through the financial system. Some people they go for the T bills. Some people they go for the certificate of deposit. Some people they go for the commercial papers. Somebody go for the currency system. Somebody go for the pay order system. So there was the evolution of the financial instruments. The difference between currency and the difference between the currency and the other financial instruments is whether the T-bill, certificate of deposit, whether the loans, whether the commercial papers, is only that the currency is easily accepted means of the payment. The paper used into the currency system, that is a very easily accepted means of the payment, that is a standard for the means of a payment. While the other documents, they are used for the borrowing purposes, borrowing from the borrowing from the public, general public, for borrowing from the some people get the ownership through the shares from the general public. So they borrow their funds through the other financial instruments, including T bills, including the commercial papers, and the certificate of the deposits. Government borrow their funds through the T bills, and the commercial paper businesses borrow their funds through the commercial papers. Financial institutions, including the banks, they borrow their funds from the, so through the certificate of deposit. So these three things individually, respectively, they are the borrowed from the government, and the government businesses, and government businesses, and the individual businesses, and the governments, respectively. So after the banking system and the financial instrument system, there is the digitalization of the money. Nowadays, there is a system of the digitalization of money. Everybody who is taking the deposits, they are receiving their messages through the mobile phones, through the e-banking, through the electronic banking, through the e-commerce. So through the e-commerce, their payments are being done through the channel, through these channels. Swift is there, Society for Worldwide International Financial Transactions are being done through the Swift. Every transaction, every e-commerce transaction is done through that system, that Swift. So we are saying that there is a, people says there is a, Swift is the international. Swift is the national record of the national financial record. We don't deny from this, but therefore there is their management is also requires some responsibilities. There are some responsibilities to go with that system. So now there is a digitalization of the money, and through the computer, through the laptops, through the internet, we are going to as there are some financial products, just like the easy pesa money, easy pesa, and the omni, and the ubl and the mobiling jays, and from with these and the uphone. So everybody is going they were going to was the financial literacy and the financial system. So this was a completely we were trying to discuss the history of the currency as a brief. So inshallah ta'ala, this was enough and sufficient for today. So thank you. So nowadays one thing is very important there, the what is there the we have a sound system of the currency system, where the this currency system is a financial currency is a financial product, being currency is a financial product which is an asset of the State Bank of Pakistan and the state of the Pakistan. So this is the currency system was a evolution of the State Bank of Pakistan, and we have a sound and a secure way of the and banking channels. We cannot forget the efforts of the banking channels through which the every banker going to perform their duties, and the business sector is there for them, and the business sector is only depend upon the banking channels, and there was the ATM system as well for the currency system. So this is some we can say the digitalization of the money, and the SOP software is also used for the digitalization of digital payments. So digital payments are there in the Play Store. There are a lot of digital payment systems. So this is enough for sufficient for today. Star is the great name of Allah the most. Star is the great name of Allah the most merciful and beneficent. As today I am discussing the topic that what is a portfolio management, and what is a portfolio. Portfolio is basically the collection of investments we call the portfolio. Portfolio is a collection of costs. We say we collection of investments. We say the portfolio, and the portfolio consists of the main three types of a nature. Number one is the manufacturing. Number second is trading. Number third is services. So the portfolio consists of these three types of investment, whether the manufacturing, whether we are manufacturing, trading, services. So there are a lot of portfolios investments, including we have in the words we have the types of the investments. For example, communication contents communicate means communication consisted of the mobile phone and the cellular networks. So this is the type of the investments. This is the type of investment or the portfolio. So portfolio occurred into the in a type of letters, words. So we have a very important portfolios into the words. Whenever we are saying about the financial portfolios including the financial words, including the banks, banks is there, banks is there, financial products is there, there is a loan, there is a loans, there are the capital expenditures where we are going to do the portfolios. Along with there is a dollars, there is a dollars and other things. Whenever other portfolios including there is a market development, there is a product development, there is a forward integration, there is a market penetration, there is a backward integration, horizontal integration. So these are the types of the portfolios where we can invest our portfolios. And the portfolios is whenever we there are the four very important there are the five very important steps into the portfolios which are very essential whenever we are saying about the manufacturing. So after the finance and the HR, there are the five steps which are very essential for the manufacturing process, where the goods and where the products and the services are being given. So into the after the finance and the HR, there is a number one is a capacity of a production, whether the plant and a machine, whether the land, purchasing a land, and the land of the purchasing the land and others. So this is the number one, the capacity. Number second is plant and a machinery for the production. Number two, number third is the formula, what we have to manufacture through the formula is a very essential. In the from the formula we have a direct labor we have to go with the direct labor, and that is very essential for the for the manufacturing. So number after the capacity and plant and machinery, there is a direct labor. Number fourth is the material, and for the material the suppliers are very important. So number fourth is the suppliers. Number fifth is the packaging plant near the production, near the factory. Into the factory we have also the packaging plant in at the side, because after every production we have to package the packaging, we have to incur the packaging plant. So these are the five very important aspects of the manufacturing. Number one is steps of the manufacturing. After the finance and HR, might have a plan, we might have a capacity, plant and a machinery, material, material suppliers, and direct labor for the formula. And number fifth is the packaging plant. After this process we will we have to need for the transportation, and in the transportation from the customer side can also be taken into the account. So this is a very important formula for the manufacturing process. So this is very important. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and beneficent. As today we are talking about the topic the capital, and mostly we are talking about the equity. So the capital has three main heads. Number one is capital is divided into the shares, bank loan, and shares liabilities and the retained earnings. Earnings we also call the net profit. So whenever we are saying about the capital is basically divided the major there are the two major factors which consisted of the total capital, that is the shares and the bank loan. Today we are going to discuss about the financing, the borrowing, also known as a capital consisted of the bank loan and the shares. Now first of all we will talk about the First of all, we will talk about the interest. No, sorry. Uh, uh, Initially, we will talk about the bank loan, while the on the second part will be for the shares. So the bank loan is a debt. Debt is that there are the different markets. Earlier, there were we were familiar with the markets, including the loan was taken through the bank, and while the shares are issued through the stock exchange and over the counter. But as soon as what do we call about the financing or the borrowing? Financing is basically borrowing from the bank or the general public. So the from the first of all, we will talk about the bank loan. Bank loan, there are the two types of bank loan, including the secured loan and as well as non unsecured loan. Secured loans are Secured loans consist of a mortgage loans, and while the unsecured debt is a non-mortgage loan. So now, earlier we were familiar with the with the only the bank market, but now there are the cash markets from where the loans are being taken, and from the there are the cash markets like the insurance firms, like insurance firm, like transportation firms, like the like say benevolent funds, like say from the salaries, there are a lot of institutions. Every major expense contains the cash market. So every capital expenditure or every capital expenditure or every expense must contains cash markets, and that is also familiarized from me myself. This is called in the history. So there are the two types of loans. Number one is mortgage loans. Number second is a non unsecured loan, unsecured debt. Number one is a secured debt. Number second is unsecured debt. Two types. Now there is some cost incurred on the bank loan, that is we know that is called as interest. Whenever the loan is taken, so at the end of the settlement, we will at the end of settlement or before, maybe then in the installments, we have to buy back through the principal plus cost, plus interest, principal plus interest. And these are bank loan is basically until your goodwill is too high. You have a corporations in your hand. You have a corporations. Then the large funds from the banks are borrowed by the corporations, and otherwise there is a chance of the smaller firms smaller firms smaller funds instead of the inst- rather than the larger funds through the shares or the general borrowing from the general public, or on the through the stock exchange. So bank is the process of taking the bank loan, whether the if your goodwill is too high, then the large funds are borrowed through the banks. Otherwise, there is a chance of the smaller funds. Now, there is whenever anybody who is any corporation who is taking the funds from the banks, so it has a unlimited liability, that whenever it defaults, if the chance is there is a if there is a chance of a default, so if there is a chance of a default, so the if there is a chance of a default, so the banks may get their personal assets to to overcome the liability, to overcome the bank loan. So they make the settlements through the principal by the auction and other thing, auction the personal assets. Now the discount rate. Now the bank market of a loan is, there is there is a theory on the there is a theory that the there is a theory that the monetary policy is given by the uh, John Maynard Keynes on the discount rate. We also indirectly we also called as a interest rates. So whenever there is a monetary policy is there, that if there is a similar the interest rate, then the more funds are being borrowed from the banks rather than the stock exchange or other, rather the corporation goes through the shares for the huge kind of huge kind of cost of capital from the share price and as well as the dividends which are taken as the periodic annual distributions to the stockholders. So monetary policy is given by the State Bank of Pakistan in order to see the liquidity, in order to see the liquidity and the inflation also known as a fiscal policy. So the number of factors are there in order to see whether the interest is whether the bank loan is more essential rather than the go through the shares and the stock exchange for the taking the funds from the general public. Now the whenever we are saying about the number of factors, include first of all we will introduce ourselves through the share system and along with the share systems and uh, along with another type of capital known as the shares or equity. Shares are basically shares are financial instruments, are the borrowing instruments from the general public. Now there are the two main markets. There were the two main markets. There was the initially all the markets all the markets are divide all the markets are classified into the two markets for the shares. Shares has a two markets. Number one is a stock exchange, and number second is over the counter. Over the stock exchange is a physical place where the all the corporate shares are exchanged on that place to the general public. While in other place, that is over the counter, that consist of all the financial mark all the cash market places where the over the counter is are traded. The shares are being traded on the cash markets through the over the counter. So these are the two more common places, the stock exchange and the over the counter. After that, there is two types of shares. Number one is common stock. A common stock. Number second is the preferred stock. These both are the borrowing. These both are the borrowing instruments, financial instruments. There are a lot of financial instruments from whom the shares The common shares and the preferred shares are most important, and the common stock and preferred stock is preferred stock are preferred into the two three main areas where the from the common stock. Preferred stock are preferred whenever we are taking the returns on the preferred stock is more important rather than the common stock. Preferred stock are given their return earlier rather than the common stock. Number one, preferred stock is a vice in the management rather than the common stock. Number two, number third, there is a limited liability whenever whenever there is a chance of a default. The preferred stocks are given their principals rather than the common stock has a chance to go for the liquidation. So chance for the default. Number fourth is there is a chance of preferred stock are being preferred. So these are the preferred stock and the common stock more important. And the common stock is the most purest form of the corporate ownership, which is basically traded, which is basically used as the main and most objective form of the corporate ownership. Most objective and purest form of purest form of the shares is the common stock. So this is the now there are the bank loan in the shares. Now I am talking about the shares. The shares are there are the four types of the share capital. Four to five type of share capital. Number one is the authorized capital. Authorized capital is the maximum borrowing or the maximum budget that can be generated from the general public. This is the maximum borrowing that can be generated from the general public. Number first, authorized capital. Number second is the issued capital. Issued capital is that kind of shares which are being we have issued from which we issued capital are those capital that we have it is that borrowing which we have borrowed from the public right now till now. So this is the issued capital. Now there is a treasury capital. Treasury capital is that capital which is in our treasury that it is still we have not issued and we will issue later. We can issue later from the authorized capital. Authorized capital consisted of issued capital and the treasury capital. These are the so this is the number third, the treasury side. Now from the issued capital, if we are given back the borrowing, given back the borrow